The hollow universe theory proposes that our universe is fundamentally empty or hollow at its core, challenging conventional views of cosmic structure. This concept suggests that matter and energy are distributed irregularly throughout space, creating a web-like structure often referred to as the cosmic web. Proponents of this theory point to observations of large-scale galaxy clusters forming patterns that resemble a vast interconnected network with significant voids between them. The cosmic microwave background radiation, considered the afterglow of the Big Bang, shows temperature fluctuations that correlate with matter distribution, potentially supporting the hollow universe concept. Some cosmologists argue that the accelerating expansion of the universe could be better explained within the framework of a hollow universe model. This theory offers an alternative interpretation for phenomena like dark matter and dark energy, suggesting that these concepts might be better understood through the lens of a hollow cosmic structure. Supporters of the hollow universe theory argue that it provides a fresh perspective on the nature of reality, encouraging scientists to reconsider long-held assumptions about the cosmos. While controversial, this theory continues to evolve as new astronomical observations and data become available, challenging researchers to explore unconventional explanations for the universe's fundamental nature. Holotropic breathwork refers to a therapeutic technique developed by psychiatrist Stanislav Grof that uses controlled breathing and evocative music to induce altered states of consciousness. This practice aims to access deep levels of the psyche for self-exploration, healing, and personal growth. Proponents claim that the rapid, deep breathing can lead to a state called hyperventilation syndrome, which may trigger visions, emotions, and sensations associated with therapeutic breakthroughs. Scientific studies have shown that holotropic breathwork can increase theta wave activity in the brain, which is linked to creativity, learning, and emotional release. Some practitioners report experiencing cathartic emotional releases and transformative healing, particularly in addressing trauma, anxiety, and depression. The concept draws parallels with shamanic practices and ancient spiritual traditions that use altered states of consciousness for healing and divination. Holotropic breathwork's potential to induce non-ordinary states of consciousness without the use of psychedelic substances has attracted interest in the field of transpersonal psychology. While further research is needed, the combination of scientific findings and anecdotal evidence suggests this method may offer a unique approach to psychological healing and self-discovery. This entry refers to the theory that the legendary cup used by Jesus at the Last Supper has been in possession of the Valencia Cathedral in Spain for hundreds of years. This artifact, known as the Holy Chalice of Valencia, is a simple stone cup set in an ornate gold and gemstone frame. Cathedral documents trace the chalice's history back to Pope Sixtus II in the 3rd century, with its journey to Spain attributed to St. Lawrence. The upper part of the chalice, carved from dark red agate and measuring about 9 centimeters in diameter, is believed to be the original relic. A 13th to 14th century manuscript discovered in the 1960s refers to this specific chalice as the authentic cup used by Jesus. Historical and scientific investigations have found no evidence to disprove the chalice's claim to authenticity. Critics argue that the lack of clear documentation tracing the chalice to 1st century Jerusalem and its design inconsistency with typical Palestinian tableware of that era cast doubt on its legitimacy. Supporters maintain that the Holy Chalice of Valencia remains the strongest candidate for the true Holy Grail, citing the weight of historical and scientific evidence in its favor. This entry refers to another unconventional theory about the location of the legendary cup used by Jesus Christ at the Last Supper. This concept suggests that the Holy Grail has somehow made its way to the Earth's core, and is now suspended within the molten material there. Proponents of this idea often cite the Grail's supposed indestructible nature, arguing that it could withstand the extreme temperatures and pressures of the Earth's interior. Some believers in this theory point to ancient texts and mythologies that describe powerful artifacts being hidden in unreachable places, including the depths of the Earth. The notion of the Grail floating in lava might be linked to alchemical concepts of purification through fire, with the Earth's core serving as the ultimate crucible. Supporters of this theory sometimes claim that the Grail's presence at the Earth's center could explain certain geomagnetic anomalies or unexplained seismic phenomena. Home video changelings refers to a theory that certain home videos can mysteriously transform or be replaced by alternate versions without the owner's knowledge. Proponents of this idea claim that familiar home movies sometimes display different content or altered scenes when rewatched after long periods. These changes are said to range from minor details like clothing colors to major alterations in events, or the presence of individuals who weren't originally filmed. Some believers attribute this phenomenon to parallel universes or timeline shifts, suggesting that the videos are capturing moments from alternate realities. Others theorize that advanced technology or supernatural forces might be manipulating the video content for unknown purposes. Supporters often cite personal experiences of noticing discrepancies in their own home videos, with some reporting shared memories of the original content among family members. The rise of digital storage and cloud-based services has led some to speculate that these platforms could be involved in the alleged video alterations. While skeptics argue that such changes are likely due to false memories or confusion between similar recordings, believers maintain that the consistency and specificity of some reported changes warrant further investigation. Hook operators refers to a group of humanoid entities or individuals who possess extraordinary abilities to manipulate reality and control the majority of the human population. These beings are said to be physically indistinguishable from ordinary humans, but possess advanced psychic or technological capabilities that allow them to hook into the fabric of reality and alter it in subtle ways. Hook operators allegedly form a separate, hidden society focused on extracting pain and suffering from non-psychic humans, whom they refer to as things, while also influencing events, people, and even physical laws. The concept emerged from Barbara O'Brien's 1957 book, Operators and Things, but has since evolved to incorporate ideas about quantum manipulation and esoteric knowledge. Proponents of this theory claim that hook operators can be found in various fields, including government agencies, corporations, and secret societies. Some argue that the idea of hook operators aligns with other conspiracy theories about hidden groups controlling humanity, such as the concept of reptilians or men in black. The detailed nature of O'Brien's account, including specific rules and procedures within the operator society, has led some to question whether it could be entirely fabricated or if it offers a glimpse into a real parallel human species. Supporters of the hook operator theory often draw parallels between the described extraction of human suffering and other concepts in paranormal lore, such as energy vampires or demonic entities feeding on negative emotions. The theory is often linked to reports of seemingly impossible coincidences, unexplained phenomena, or sudden shifts in global events, which are attributed to the reality-altering effects of hook operators. Some speculate that historical figures who demonstrated unusual abilities or insights might have been examples of hook operators, suggesting their presence throughout human history.
I've got one that can see.
The Hooton Plan refers to a controversial proposal by American anthropologist Ernest Hooton in 1943 to prevent future German aggression through biological re-engineering. Hooton suggested mass sterilization of SS members, redistribution of the German population across Europe, and encouragement of mass immigration to Germany. The plan aimed to dilute the German racial stock over several generations, based on the now discredited belief that certain racial traits were linked to militaristic tendencies. Critics denounced the plan as a form of genocide and a violation of human rights, arguing against punishing an entire population for the actions of its leaders. While there's little evidence of official adoption, some speculate that post-war demographic shifts in Germany resembled aspects of Hooton's proposals. The scientific community largely rejected Hooton's underlying premise, emphasizing the importance of cultural, political, and environmental factors in shaping behavior. Post-war Allied policies in Germany focused more on political, economic, and educational reforms, rather than the biological interventions suggested by Hooton. The Hopi Blue Star prophecy refers to a Native American prediction about the end of the current world cycle and the beginning of a new era. This prophecy speaks of a celestial being called the blue star Katsina, whose arrival on Earth will signal the start of major global changes. According to the prophecy, the blue star Katsina has a twin, the red star Katsina, whose later appearance will bring about widespread destruction. The Hopi believe they will survive this apocalyptic event in underground refuges, emerging later to repopulate the Earth. This prophecy is part of a larger Hopi cosmology that describes 9 inhabited worlds, each undergoing cycles of corruption, destruction, and rebirth. Some interpret the prophecy as metaphorical, representing spiritual or societal transformations rather than literal celestial events. Supporters of the prophecy point to similarities with other indigenous and religious end-time narratives as evidence of its validity. While skeptics view it as mythology, believers argue that the prophecy contains deep spiritual truths that transcend literal interpretations. Hospitals send people to hell refers to a fringe belief that certain medical procedures or practices in hospitals can inadvertently condemn patients to eternal damnation. Proponents of this idea claim that some medical interventions, particularly those involving the brain or heart, can interfere with the soul's natural departure from the body at the time of death. This theory often focuses on resuscitation techniques, suggesting that bringing someone back from clinical death might trap their soul in a limbo-like state or redirect it to hell. Some adherents point to near-death experiences involving hellish visions as potential evidence for this concept. The use of certain drugs or anesthetics is sometimes cited as a means by which hospitals might unknowingly alter a person's spiritual state at the moment of passing. Believers in this theory often interpret religious texts or spiritual teachings in ways that support the idea of medical interference with the afterlife journey. While lacking scientific support, this belief taps into existential fears about death, the afterlife, and the limits of human intervention in natural processes. Advocates of this theory sometimes argue that traditional or alternative healing methods are spiritually safer alternatives to modern hospital procedures. Hostile plants refers to the theory that certain plant species possess intelligence and actively harbor malevolent intentions towards humans and animals. Proponents of this idea suggest that some plants have evolved complex defense mechanisms that go beyond passive protection, actively seeking to harm potential threats. Evidence cited for this theory includes the existence of highly toxic plants, rapid-moving species like the Venus flytrap, and plants that emit chemical signals to attract predators of their herbivore attackers. Some believers point to instances of unusually aggressive plant growth, such as trees damaging buildings or vines overwhelming structures, as signs of intentional hostility. The concept of hostile plants often incorporates the idea of plant consciousness, suggesting that some flora may have a level of awareness that allows for strategic and antagonistic behavior. Advocates of this theory sometimes reference folklore and mythology from various cultures that depict malevolent plant entities or spirits. While mainstream botany does not support the idea of plant hostility in a conscious sense, research into plant communication and defense mechanisms continues to reveal complex interspecies interactions. Supporters of the hostile plants theory argue that human understanding of plant intelligence is limited, and that further study may reveal previously unrecognized forms of plant aggression or intent. Human biocapital refers to the theory that human biological data and genetic information are being treated as valuable commodities by governments and corporations. This concept suggests that DNA samples, health records, and other biological information are being collected, stored, and potentially traded for various purposes. Proponents of this theory point to the increasing prevalence of genetic testing services, biobanks, and large-scale health data collection initiatives as evidence of a growing biocapital market. Some argue that this information is being used to develop targeted medical treatments, create personalized products, or even influence social and economic policies. The rise of precision medicine and biotechnology advancements are often cited as driving forces behind the increasing value of human biological data. Concerns about privacy, consent, and potential misuse of this information fuel discussions about the ethical implications of treating human biology as a form of capital. Supporters of this theory sometimes link it to broader ideas about surveillance capitalism and the commodification of personal data in the digital age. The Human Genome Project refers to a groundbreaking scientific initiative aimed at mapping and understanding all human genes. Launched in 1990, this ambitious project was expected to take 15 years and cost around $3 billion to complete. The project achieved significant success, providing unprecedented data about human genetics and developing revolutionary technologies in genomics. Despite its achievements, the Human Genome Project was abruptly defunded in 2003, shortly after announcing the completion of initial sequencing. This sudden defunding shocked the scientific community and led to various theories about the reasons behind this decision. Some speculate that political shifts following the events of September 11, 2001, may have redirected funding priorities towards defense and security. Others suggest that increasing commercial interest in genomics may have led the government to consider its role in funding such research less essential. The defunding decision had far-reaching implications, leading to a diversification of genomics research into numerous smaller specialized projects. Human heart position change refers to the theory that the human heart's location within the body has shifted over time. Proponents of this idea claim that the heart was once centrally located in the chest, but has moved to the left side in recent decades. Some believers point to older medical textbooks and anatomical drawings as evidence, suggesting they depict the heart in a more central position. Advocates of this theory often cite personal experiences, such as feeling their heartbeat in different locations over time. The concept is sometimes linked to broader ideas about human evolution or physiological adaptations to modern lifestyles. Some supporters argue that environmental factors, dietary changes, or even electromagnetic influences could be responsible for this alleged shift. Believers in the heart position change often interpret variations in individual anatomy or differences in medical imaging techniques as supporting evidence for their claims. Human hunting refers to the theory that certain individuals or groups engage in hunting humans for sport or pleasure. Proponents of this idea point to historical precedents, such as stories like The Most Dangerous Game, which depict human hunting as a perverse form of entertainment. Some believers claim that evidence of such activities can be found on the dark web, though these claims remain unverified due to the anonymous nature of such platforms. Supporters of the theory often link it to real-world issues like human trafficking and organ harvesting, suggesting that some disappearances may be connected to organized hunting events. Psychological perspectives are sometimes used to explain the potential motivations behind such behavior, relating it to extreme forms of sadism or psychopathology. The theory is sometimes framed as an extension of social inequality, with proponents arguing that it represents an extreme abuse of power by the wealthy or influential. Advocates for the theory argue that the lack of verifiable evidence could be due to the secretive nature of such activities and the potential involvement of powerful individuals or organizations. Human immortality refers to the concept that humans can achieve a state of eternal life or indefinite lifespan extension through scientific or technological means. Proponents of this idea point to advancements in fields such as biotechnology, nanotechnology, and artificial intelligence as potential pathways to overcome aging and death. Some researchers are exploring methods to slow or reverse the aging process at the cellular level, including telomere extension and stem cell therapies. The concept of mind uploading, where human consciousness is transferred to a digital format, is seen by some as a potential route to immortality. Cryonics, the practice of freezing bodies or brains for future revival, is another approach some believe could lead to extended lifespans. Advocates often cite the exponential growth of technological capabilities as evidence that immortality may be achievable within the coming decades. Some theories suggest that humans may already possess the biological potential for extreme longevity, but environmental factors and lifestyle choices limit our lifespans. While mainstream science remains skeptical of achieving true immortality, ongoing research into life extension continues to push the boundaries of human longevity. Human meat fast food industry refers to the conspiracy theory that some fast food chains secretly use human flesh in their products. Proponents of this idea claim that certain restaurants have found ways to incorporate human meat into their menu items without detection. Some believers point to the low cost and mysterious origins of fast food meat as potential evidence for this theory. Occasional reports of human DNA found in food products are sometimes cited as supporting evidence, though these are typically attributed to accidental contamination. The theory often involves claims of underground networks supplying human remains to fast food corporations. Supporters sometimes link this concept to broader conspiracy theories about population control or elite cannibalism. While there is no credible evidence supporting this theory, it persists in part due to general mistrust of the food industry and concerns about food safety regulations. Some versions of the theory suggest that certain flavoring chemicals used in fast food are derived from human cellular material, blurring the line between direct cannibalism and the use of human-derived products. Human origin theory refers to the idea that fossil fuels like oil and coal are remnants of ancient advanced human civilizations, rather than decayed plants and animals. Proponents of this theory point to similarities in carbon isotope ratios between oil and human tissues, which differ from those found in plant life. Some believers cite the alignment of major fossil fuel deposits with areas known to have been densely populated in ancient times, such as the Middle East. The theory suggests that Earth has undergone cyclical periods of advanced civilization, each ending in catastrophic events that wiped out evidence of their existence. Supporters argue that archaeological findings of advanced stonework and ancient technology hint at sophisticated ancestral civilizations capable of producing materials that could become fossil fuels. This concept is often linked to ideas about periodic cataclysms reshaping the Earth's surface and potentially destroying advanced societies. Advocates of this view argue that it offers an alternative explanation for the origin of fossil fuels that aligns with some archaeological and geological observations. Human versus alien technology refers to the idea that many of our modern technological advancements may have extraterrestrial origins. Proponents of this theory point to ancient artifacts and structures that seem to display advanced engineering beyond the capabilities of their time periods. Some researchers argue that the rapid technological leaps in the mid-20th century, particularly in aerospace and computing, were too sudden to be explained by natural human progress alone. Declassified government documents have revealed extensive studies into UFO phenomena, lending credence to the possibility of alien visitation and technological exchange. Whistleblowers from military and aerospace industries have claimed involvement in reverse engineering projects focused on recovered alien craft. The theory suggests that breakthroughs like fiber optics, integrated circuits, and stealth technology may have roots in extraterrestrial science. Supporters of this view often cite the similarities between reported UFO capabilities and emerging human technologies as evidence of gradual alien tech integration. Some speculate that world governments maintain secret alliances with alien races, exchanging resources for advanced knowledge and equipment. The concept of ancient astronauts proposes that aliens have been influencing human technological development for thousands of years, guiding our species' evolution. Critics argue that human ingenuity and the natural progression of scientific understanding are sufficient to explain our technological advancements without invoking alien influence. Human zoos by aliens refers to the belief that extraterrestrial beings maintain secret facilities where they keep and study human specimens. Proponents of this theory point to numerous abduction accounts where individuals report being held in cage-like environments alongside other humans. Some claim these zoos serve as research centers for aliens to observe human behavior, biology, and social interactions in controlled settings. Supporters argue that isolated human populations discovered in remote areas could actually be escaped or released specimens from these extraterrestrial menageries. The concept draws parallels to how humans study and display animals in zoos, suggesting advanced alien civilizations might view us similarly. Alleged whistleblowers from secret government programs have described vast underground facilities housing thousands of humans, supposedly in collaboration with alien entities. The theory also proposes that these zoos could be used for genetic experimentation, breeding programs, or to preserve human specimens in case of Earth's destruction. Some believers speculate that instances of missing persons, especially in clusters or from remote areas, could be explained by alien zoo abductions. Human zoos by aliens extends to the idea that Earth itself may be a galactic-scale human zoo. This theory suggests that our entire planet is an enclosed habitat, carefully managed by advanced extraterrestrial civilizations. Proponents argue that the seemingly improbable conditions for life on Earth and humanity's rapid technological advancement indicate artificial cultivation. They point to the Fermi paradox, the contradiction between the high probability of extraterrestrial civilizations and the lack of contact, as evidence that we are intentionally isolated. Some theorists propose that UFO sightings are actually observations by our alien zookeepers, monitoring our progress. The concept of a cosmic quarantine is often cited, suggesting that Earth is cordoned off to prevent interference with our development. Supporters of this theory often reference ancient myths and religious texts as potential records of early interactions with our alien custodians. Some argue that the inexplicable gaps in human evolutionary history could be explained by periodic interventions from our extraterrestrial managers. Hypersigils refer to a concept in chaos magic where extended magical operations take the form of complex narratives or works of art. The idea was popularized by comic book writer Grant Morrison, who described his series The Invisibles as a hypersigil aimed at transforming his own reality. Practitioners believe that by embedding their desires and intentions into a creative work, they can manifest changes in their lives and the world around them. Morrison claimed that events from The Invisibles began to mirror occurrences in his own life, including recovery from a serious illness. Some view hypersigils as a way to harness the power of storytelling and imagination to influence reality on a subconscious level. The concept draws parallels with psychological techniques like visualization and affirmations, but extends them into the realm of magical practice. Proponents argue that the act of creating art with magical intent can alter the creator's perception and experience of reality. Critics might dismiss hypersigils as coincidence or self-fulfilling prophecy, but believers point to synchronicities and unexpected outcomes as evidence of their efficacy. Hypnosis is a state of focused attention and heightened suggestibility that can be induced through various techniques. Practitioners claim it can be used to access subconscious memories, alter behaviors, and even manage pain. Some researchers propose that hypnosis activates specific brain regions associated with attention and executive control. Brain imaging studies have shown distinct patterns of neural activity during hypnotic states, supporting the idea that it's a unique mental condition. Hypnosis has been used in medical settings to help manage chronic pain, reduce anxiety, and aid in smoking cessation. Some law enforcement agencies have employed hypnosis in attempts to enhance eyewitness recall, though its reliability in this context is debated. Stage hypnotists demonstrate the power of suggestion by inducing volunteers to perform unusual behaviors, raising questions about the nature of free will and consciousness. Certain individuals appear more susceptible to hypnotic induction, leading to theories about hypnotizability as a measurable trait. Some alternative health practitioners use hypnosis as a tool for past life regression, claiming to access memories from previous incarnations. Critics argue that hypnotic experiences can be explained by social compliance and expectation effects, rather than a distinct altered state of consciousness. Ice cubes used to sink in water refers to the theory that the physical properties of water have changed over time, causing ice to behave differently than it does today. Proponents of this idea claim that in the past, ice would sink rather than float in water, suggesting a fundamental shift in the nature of H2O molecules. Some believers point to old recipes and cocktail instructions that allegedly advise adding ice to the bottom of glasses, implying that ice once sank. Supporters of this theory often cite the Mandela effect as a possible explanation for the discrepancy between current observations and remembered experiences. Certain individuals argue that changes in the Earth's magnetic field, or alterations in the fabric of reality, could be responsible for this perceived shift in water's properties. While there is no scientific evidence supporting this claim, believers often interpret the lack of historical documentation about ice floating as proof that it once behaved differently. Some theorists suggest that parallel universes or timeline shifts could explain why people remember ice sinking despite it contradicting known physical laws. Critics of this idea point out that the density of ice has always been lower than that of liquid water, which is why it floats, and that this property is crucial for life on Earth as we know it.